Namaste, Angelics, the weekly reading from July 31st through April 6th. We're going to get started with the dice. Just a warning, if this red die, one of the sides is completely blank. I had spilled some Coke Zero the other day, and I didn't realize I spilled it on the dice until just now when I tried to pick them up and they were stuck. Oh wait, here's one. Also that I forgot. And they were stuck, and particularly this one was stuck. And when I looked at it, you know how Coke can be used to like clean stuff and whatnot and remove paint and it's like acid practically. Well, sure enough, it completely removed the words from one of the sides of the dice. So it shows up there. I'm not sure what it means, but we're going to get started with the dice. All right. We're beginning with kitchen, spend money, sex, try again, and your choice. So the other person's choice. So last week, I believe it was last week that I named my reading my choice, as in mine and yours. So now the message could be like the ball's in your court now. Like you got to choose me too, or choose to, kick rocks, or like, or whatever. We're back to living room. Spirit says living room. Dirty movie. Cocktail. That blank side. So figure it out yourself, I guess, is the answer from Spirit. And it's 50-50. This can mean a few things for me. It can be about balance, can be about give and take. The need to meet in the middle, compromise, yin and yang, which can be about soulmates or twin flame. You like for me, when we, the way that the yin and yang are like need each other, and together they create energy. So it gives me like twin flame or soulmate vibes. There was something else I was gonna say, but I think I lost it. So I will move on from that. Maybe about power couples sometimes for me too. Again, because it creates energy. So it's like boom, like once we merge together, boom. There's like no stopping us. Anyway, with the cards, begin with creativity with this deck, which is the Twin Flame Oracle. Inspiration, productivity, creation, bring out the greatness within. Also up right behind it is fall. Changes in the air, your answers arrive in fall. And we did get that message also in the Leo new moon reading. Opening now to community, which also came up in the Leo new moon reading and was giving me a feeling of like soul tribe and connecting with people on a like vibe, maybe like Hierophant energies too, and or Three of Cups as well, being social, spending time with friends, family, maybe out in your environment. Friendship, fun, a light heart, enjoy downtime with friends and family. So speaking of the Leo reading, one of the things that came up was like, I mentioned how some people consider the Leo new moon reading to be the luckiest reading. We got regret here. Also free will, so then you do your choice. The luckiest reading, and luckiest moon of the year. And I was like, I don't know if I agree with that, because for me, Jupiter is the luckiest thing. And I was forgetting at the time, I guess my guides were trying to show me, because I'm like clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, like all these things. But anytime I do a reading, whether it's 10 minutes long or it's 2 hours long, it's always recorded live, and I'm getting the messages like as we do it. So things are happening as we do it. My nose will start bleeding, I start sneezing, I start getting, the hair standing up in my arms. I'm seeing visions like during the reading while I'm trying to talk to you and read cards. So it's a lot sometimes, and sometimes I don't get everything. That's what we're meant to see, mirroring also. So I didn't see it at the time, and I guess they were trying to remind me that the 28th, the day of the new moon, was also the day that Jupiter went retrograde in Aries. So that was the fire. When it goes back, it usually goes back and forth between two planets when a planet's in retrograde. When it goes back for a time, it's going to go back into Pisces. And I also talked about Jupiter in Pisces that day, because I was either that reading or the reading the week before, when I think it was that reading, remember, I just answered actually earlier today a question from one of the viewers about where does a masculine in his birth chart find like his feminine astrological match, or or what's said to be the feminine, and that falls under Venus. I was saying that for us looking for the divine masculine, it's said to be Jupiter. So yeah, so it was just today that I was talking about that same reading. All right, we got journal here. Let me move on to the next deck. Journal, write, process, contemplate, understand your sacred journey. So in that reading, I had talked about how one of my exes, we both have Jupiter in Scorpio. We're both ruled by Mercury, even though we're not both Geminis. I'm a Gemini, he's a Virgo. So that was another thing that I had forgotten temporarily in that Leo reading. My moon readings cover 2 weeks. So it would be this week in this reading now, and it would be like, the past couple days, and it'll be, some of next week that it covers. Well, sure enough, the 31st, Mercury, our joint ruler, Gemini and Virgo, enters Virgo. So it was probably trying to show me that. It was probably trying to show me about Jupiter and Pisces. Because, I was saying, like, my ex and I both have Jupiter in Scorpio. And if I look at my my natal chart on a Vedic chart, which you guys can do yourselves too, and there's free ones online, just like there's free ones of the Western astrology natal chart. Under Vedic astrology, I'm not a Gemini. I'm a Taurus. I'm still a Leo rising. I'm not an Aquarius moon. I'm a Capricorn moon. And my Jupiter is still in Scorpio, but my Jupiter is I also have Jupiter in Pisces on my Vedic natal chart. My ex on the Western natal chart, and possibly on the Vedic one too, also Jupiter in Scorpio, Jupiter in Pisces. So another message for the collective maybe is about that Jupiter in Pisces. Maybe if you have it too, maybe all of us who have it are going to be experiencing something that I haven't yet figured out during this retrograde when Jupiter goes back into Pisces. Anyway, community is the card that we're starting with this. And we just looked at community in the other deck. So that's kind of interesting too. This one only has 3 people on it. The other one had several buildings. It was giving me like environment, spend time outside, blah, blah, blah. This one is really coming through kind of 3 of Cups-ish. I'm not sure these people are of the same like vibe, because they're all like doing a different thing and they all have reason to stand out. This one's wearing a white dress. This one's wearing kind of like a gold dress. This one's wearing a red dress. She's also got a red flower in her hair. Definitely 3 of Cups. Maybe something celebratory, being social. Oh, maybe you're celebrating a promotion. Man with a coin, also upright behind it. Both cards equal 7. This card is 7, and this one is card number 43. It equals 7. Man holding a coin. By the way, this is the energy deck by what's his name, Holland. And the next card is Daughter Romance. Interesting. So we could be celebrating again, like a new job or promotion or some other money that maybe has come in, or an uptick in our finances. I got some money this week. Let's go out. Let's drink. Remember the dice also said cocktail. And or maybe we're celebrating something related to love. Maybe we're at a wedding or a shower or something, or engagement party. We're toasting to it. And or perhaps somebody is becoming involved and being reunited, and maybe even when we look at this in terms of the 3 of Cups, reunited with maybe particularly an earth sign or someone King of Pentacles like, who's not doing too bad for himself, a hard worker, not necessarily rich, but You know, he's doing okay, and he's like the provider type. He's, you know, you can see he looks relaxed. He doesn't look stressed out because he's got his coin, you know. He's doing his thing. And then we got the 6 plus the 7, which equals 13 or 4 or 11, 11. So that can also be about, again, soulmate connections or twin flame type stuff. Opening first the 7th chakra, which is, of course, the crown. That's air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, crown chakra. Garden and the gate. It's about somebody staying like stuck behind, like upright. This card is not as good as it is in reverse. Like people tend to like upright cards, prefer upright cards to reverse cards, but this one is about being stuck behind the gate, and when it's in reverse, it's about like moving beyond and going out there into your community and into the world. So this may be tied to that community energy too. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to make a move? You're going to stay back here? You're going to stay stuck? Are you going to join the rest of us that are ascending, that are elevating, that are of your vibration? You know, maybe even a partner who's of your vibration. I didn't realize at the time when I was saying all that this community card was still, you know, here, that it's opposite it. But I think this is about, again, going out there into the world, joining the others. So what else did I want to tell you? Oh, this morning, so I've been having all these things with these songs and stuff. We got walking away in reverse. So maybe somebody's walking back towards you. They're returning. Which, again, might align with the 3 of Cups energy, which can often be about reuniting with someone or something. You know, in traditional tarot, the general meaning, or most general meaning of the 3 of Cups is that you will have a pleasant reunion. So it's not going to be like, oh no, not this motherfucker again. It's a pleasant reunion with someone or something like that you probably haven't seen or had it in your hand, you know, known where it is. If it's a thing like, I've been looking for this for, you know, weeks, months, whatever it is. And we got appreciation in reverse. That one's not so as great in reverse because it is about a lack of appreciation, with daughter spirit also in reverse. So I think the message here, and man holding a heart also in reverse. So I think with the healer of the ages up right behind them. This card I had already noticed that it was in reverse. It's card number 15. Man, healer of the ages is card number 51. So it's, you know, obviously the mirror opposite. And if we heal ourselves by being appreciative of what we do have and what is working, and looking at things from the positive perspective as opposed to the negative, and pointing out what doesn't work and what made us miserable as opposed to what made us happy and did work, then I think we flip these around. All right, this appreciation becomes positive, and once we're appreciating, now the laws of attraction and the spiritual laws in general are working for us. Cause and effect, attraction, all of them, manifestation. And so that opens the door to spirit and our ascension, and maybe opens the door to man holding a heart as well, into our relationships. So I've been waking up, like literally as I open my eyes, hearing music in my head for at least a week now. This morning I was awakened at 5:55 with a song that's probably from like 1980. It's by a group called DeBarge, because I know some of y'all weren't even born in 1980. Y'all weren't even born yet. A group called DeBarge. The name of the song is Love Me in a Special Way. We got the angel of love here, and she is in reverse. So again, I think that's where the healing is needed. The yin and yang I was talking about, the twin flame energy, the power couple energy, the balance. Also here with the love in reverse. And we got anxiety. Adjacent possibilities. We're so confused about everything. Our options, what door to go through, what's going to make us feel better. Crown chakra also in reverse. And again, it's like similar to with the masculine a moment ago. It's like if you can get this together, then that'll be a healed heart, and you'll be ready, you know, to approach relationship. Because here, the next upright card is woman holding a heart. So I woke up with love me in a special way in my head. And I mean, I guess it could be for either archetype. It could be the masculine saying it. I mean, it is a male and, you know, voice that sings the song. The group was a bunch of brothers and sisters. But the lead on that particular song was one of the brothers. The youngest, I think he was. L is the lead on that song. We're starting here with the Sun, Major Arcana card, the Sun, which does represent the sign of Sagittarius. But also for me, it brings, you know, Leo energy, because the Sun, Earth's star, the Sun, rules the sign of Leo. So we have that. It's a positive card. We have the Six of Wands behind it in reverse. And opening first to the Five of Cups in reverse, which is about moving beyond the oh, woe is me, you know, sort of energy, and deciding to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, as they say, and like go out and get, you know, make some things happen. Maybe it's the King of Cups who's going to be making things happen. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or someone like into those traits or attributes. Romantic. What's behind that? The Queen of Cups is behind it in reverse with Justice, also in reverse. And the Five of Wands. This can be about the divorces that I've been seeing too. Ace of Swords can be about law and order and, you know, court and stuff. Victories usually. Because we do have a couple here back to back. I think she may be out. And he's ready to move on to something else because she's upside down with the Justice part. And then behind them is the Five of Wands upright. Yeah, so I think that could be about the, and then the Ace of Swords. I think that can be about the divorces and stuff I've been seeing. The Sun is now in reverse opposite this King of. So, anyway, what was I saying? So I guess it could be for masculine, you know, the masculine and the feminine. And he wants to find balance and equity and reciprocity. So even if it's not like a divorce, like leaving the kind of energy behind of where one of us is upside down, like one of us is not getting what we need, the other one is getting their needs met, that's not working. So moving instead to this sense of equity. And even in this picture, even though this card is about equity and equality and fairness and balance and restoration and, you know, divine timing, universe stepping in, God stepping in right on time to provide you what you need. And I find that when that card comes up, that's exactly what it means. But even with that, if you look at the illustration, this dude is literally being breadcrumbed. Like he's literally being fed breadcrumbs, which is like just enough to keep you, you know, hooked, as they say. Like, you know, giving somebody a little tiny bit of, you know, drugs or something, and then, you know, knowing that with that particular drug, they're going to come back and want more. It's that sort of thing, you know, so they won't leave you alone. They won't give up on you, but you're not really giving them the equality and the equity and the reciprocity that a relationship, even if it's a friendship, deserves. And even here, he's got the scales of balance over this guy, but you see the scales of balance are up here and the breadcrumbs are down here, like, oh, this hand is up here and this hand is down. So it's not even. So this energy comes in to balance things out. And now the Sun is opposite again, but it's upright. I'll do one more of these. So some of the lines from Love. The reason I felt initially that maybe it was the feminine, even though it's a male that sings the song, that whose message that was, or who's calling out to be loved in a special way. You know, just from my personal experience, I actually had a boy sing this song to me when I was like 9-10 years old. I remember I stayed home sick from school. I think I had tonsillitis or strep throat or something. And so like he missed seeing me like on the school bus, going to school and coming back from school. Because I don't remember us having classes together. Although we may have. It was a million years ago for me. I guess we were meant to see the Queen of Pentacles. We got the Hermit here in reverse. So the Hermit here in reverse can mean that somebody is, you know, taking some time to do some introspection. They are going through a spiritual awakening. So right now they're kind of turned upside down, maybe even dark night of the soul. Also for me, sometimes a hermit is like a lawyer, or he's involved in legal issues, or he's like a teacher, a professor or something. So it could also be in the case of, again, the divorces or something legal going on, or some sort of break, some sort of, separation happening, whether it's from another person, a friend, a romantic partner, a job. It could be any number of things from which you're separating that's causing you to be thrust into like a dark night of the soul kind of energy. So it's upside down. As it relates to love specifically, the Hermit, doesn't matter if he's in reverse or if he's upright, it's almost always about rekindling a relationship from the past, just period. And we do have a Queen of Pentacles. So if where it is about a relationship, because we also have Judgment here, which is about second chances, not just in relationships, but in general. We have the Six of Cups behind it. I guess I was feeling that it was going to be more than likely about relationships. Knight of Cups is also in reverse here. Knight of Wands is upright. So Knight of Wands is indicative sometimes of somebody that's like back and forth in your life. And maybe they're trying to figure out how they can be more permanent, either permanent in or permanent out. And that's why they're upside down. The Hermit represents the sign of Virgo. Queen of Pentacles most directly represents the sign of Taurus. But can be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or someone like into those traits or attributes. She's also like, like the homemaker type, the wife type, whatever. Oh, so I was on the school bus. I was home. I remember I've had 2 sets of bunk beds in my life. As I got older, we had these custom made ones from a butcher block that was like light wood, like pine, I guess. But when I was little, I had dark brown wood, more like maybe cherry, mahogany or something, maybe even walnut. It's kind of brownish, not really red. And I remember they were up against the back wall of my bedroom. So like not you know how the bed sticks out into the room and you lose a lot of floor space. These were like flush against the wall here. So like I had a big room and I had this red plaid carpet, very, like kilt-like, red, black, green, white, yellow, I guess, the lines and stuff. And I was up top. And my sister was supposed to stay in the room, but she never was in the room. She was always sleeping someplace else, either with my mother or on the couch or something. So I pretty much always had a room to myself, even though I had a baby sister. And I remember I was laying in the bed sick, and my phone rang. I had this clear phone with, like, you could see the inside of the phone, and it would light up when it would ring. And it was this boy, Pedro, this neighborhood boy. Not the same neighborhood boy that recently told me he's had a crush on me for 40 years. A different neighborhood boy. And he told me that, he missed me because I wasn't in school or whatever. And he proceeds to sing this entire song to me. So that's one reason that I was on the receiving end of it. So maybe from that perspective, it's a male or a masculine who's looking to be loved in a special way. Yeah. There was another story time type of thing I was going to tell you about love me in a special way. I can't think of it right now. Anyway, money worries are keeping me up at night, and I'm just not in a good place right now. So again, like I was saying, this could be anything, especially since he's here in front of the Queen of Pentacles. This can be about, trying to find a new home, a new apartment, maybe because it is tied to divorce, or leaving your space, leaving your roommate, leaving your whatever. So again, it doesn't have to be traditional divorce. Divorcing yourself from something or someone that doesn't have to be your actual spouse. And maybe you need to get your own apartment, right? Because this is about home, apartment, making yourself comfortable. And so you need money for that, and you feel like you're struggling. Or maybe you want to remodel your existing home, or just, again, make yourself more comfortable and just feel like you don't have to be panicked and worried and nervous anymore. And, so you're working your ass off or something. Like an earth sign, that's possible too. Again, with Judgment in reverse, Judgment for me, whether it's upright or in reverse, it's about abundance that's earned more so than anything else. So even if that's the case, like, like worry is unnecessary because there is something coming from you. And it may be something, if it's not a relationship, it still may be something from your past, like maybe something you've been working on for a long time, to maybe like some other kind of court case, for example, workman's comp or something, and it's finally settled and your money comes, or, Social Security and VA and disability, all those things that take a long time, but finally it's coming, inheritances and things like that. So that could be happening from something. This is indicating, from the past. It's a while. And still would be something that somehow affects you emotionally. But, just waiting for a long time when it finally comes can affect you emotionally. But like a sigh of relief, like, oh my God, like I can't believe this case is over. We've been fighting it forever. So that may be what this is about, the money worries. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? Because I decided, like I said, to use my energy cards this week. So let me do them first. And maybe instead of these, for the card that's most directly representing us, the card that is surrounding energy, like for all of that, I was guided to use the energy deck instead. So Angel of Love in reverse. Oh, I remember I wanted to talk to you about the lyrics of the song. So, all right, there's our first one. Rest and rejuvenation. This could be tied again to the hermit energy, just getting your peace back is what I just heard. So that may require some solitude. It may require actual meditation. Like maybe you need to get into, this kind of yoga pose like this dude, and, close your eyes and chill. Maybe it'll involve spending time with other people, community. Maybe it means literal rest, because again, you've been working really hard because you've been trying to get your paper up, because you want to do something with your home, make yourself more comfortable. Could be a few things. Card most directly representing us from the energy deck is Rest and Rejuvenation, card number 19. What was that? Okay. Surrounding energy. Healer of the ages. I'm not sure if it was in reverse or upright, and it does matter in this deck. It has reversals, but I'm not sure. So we got him upright. There's two here. Work and finance, daughter romance. So maybe you feel like you have to get your money up before you try to pursue somebody, or so that you can impress them, you can take them out. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Love and relationship, walking away. Maybe we'll get a clarifier for that. We need physical health. Oh, so love me in a special way. Let's see how it starts. It says something about walking away. As you walked on by, I didn't reply so that I could carry on. So like somebody was walking away, somebody tried to pull away to separate, and the other person didn't acknowledge it, didn't respond, because if they spoke out, or if they reached out to the person or contacted them again, this is physical health, all tied up. We got daughter value on the bottom of the deck when this card popped out. If they responded, they wouldn't be able to go on like with their life. Oh, I didn't realize two cards had flipped over in here. Okay. I guess both of these together are meant to be the spiritual health, patience, and the temple path, which seems pretty appropriate for spiritual health. Bottom of the deck, or the overall energy, is action. So before I get into these, let me just finish this train of thought. So he wouldn't be able to go on, he or she wouldn't be able to go on if they had replied, or wouldn't be able to move on. Like, you're walking away from me, nothing I can say about that, because otherwise if I acknowledge you, if I don't hit block right now and just like close myself off from you, I'm not going to be able to carry on with my life. You got me fucked up, basically. So there's that part. The line that's coming to me now is reach into your, oh, love me now, because I'm special. I'm not the average kind who will accept any line that sounds good. So reach into your train of thought. I just used the words train of thought, right? I said I lost my train of thought. That's interesting. Reach into your train of thought and try to find something new. Because whatever worked for you before, with me, it just won't do. Love me in a special way. So again, that could come from either archetype, I suppose. Maybe personally, I was thinking feminine because I'm a female. Because I recently changed my bio on my government page of Facebook. But I previously had, for years, for probably about 13, 14 years, it said, like, whatever you're used to, I'm not that woman. Like, I'm different. And that's all it said. So again, that's what the line in the song says. Love me now because I'm special. I'm not the average kind who'll accept any line. Or whatever worked for you before, with me, it won't do. It's not going to work with me. So you're going to have to do something different. Like the Trey Songz song. I'm going to show you something unusual. It's going to have to be unusual. It's going to have to be different. It's going to have to be special for this particular connection. So rest and rejuvenation, I think we talked about, and I think it's pretty clear. That's the card that's most directly representing us this week. Then we have, again, healer of the ages in our surrounding energy. So this can be somebody who is around us in our, maybe a close friend, a family member, a co-worker, a situation at work or something. Maybe they are helping us to heal through a situation, or we are helping them to heal through a situation, or indirectly something between us is being healed by something that occurs this week. So even in consideration of things like divorce, when it is between two people or some other kind of separation, that ultimately will heal me and heal you, if that's what we need to do. If we're toxic together or unhappy together or both or whatever. So something of that nature is going on around us, which does help us, because this guy is literally in a position of healing, so it does affect him or us and help us to get through whatever it is we're dealing with in our various lives. Then we have daughter romance. I'm sorry, I thought I saw something like fly by me, and maybe I did. Maybe I did. But yeah, it distracted me for a moment. So also I want to point out that these are both the sixes that we have been talking about too. Okay, card number 51 equals 6, card number 33 equals 6. So, work and finance, we have daughter romance. And I feel like, again, we're wanting to sort of fill our coffers. We wanted to get a reliable job. We're wanting to feel secure so that we can pursue a relationship, a romantic relationship, and maybe we'd be able to take care of ourselves and make ourselves more presentable. Like, now I can go get my hair cut. Maybe now I can go join the gym or whatever. I have money, and I can, meet somebody. Whatever you feel like you need money for in order to prepare to go out and meet someone if you're single, or you have somebody in mind, or you're already coupled. Well, now I can really give them the life that I want to give them, or we can share the life together. That yin and yang thing. Maybe one felt like they were uneven as compared to the other. Now I'm doing my part and I can provide different things like that. But this is work in finance that's leading to door to romance. It also may be about just the fact that you as an individual have worked on yourself and improved your work situation or your financial situation. So that clears the energy around you. Healer of the ages, surrounding energy, clears the energy around you, allowing you to be this, zen, at peace, and then able to enter a relationship. So, again, in the position of love and relationship, this could be kind of scary to some of you, some of us, because we have walking away. But this is about walking away from an existing situation. It does not, it's in the placement of love and relationship, but technically the card on its own doesn't have to refer to walking away from a relationship. It can be walking away from a job, a career, you know, some sort of path that you're on. So even if it's walking away from a relationship, I don't think it would be with you. I think it would be with an existing relationship. So again, maybe something like getting divorced or separating from a karmic partner, or something like that. Because this woman is not only walking away, like she's going out the gate and she's closing it behind her. Can you see that? That she's closing the door behind her. So this is shut. This situation is over. This is done. This is dead. You know, I imagine with some of us, this could apply to a connection that we thought was going to be long, you know, go on longer, and that it's not. That connection is finished. But I think for the most part, this is like maybe like a third party thing that's ending, and maybe that's why you got the 6s or the double 3s, all the, you know, these numbers that are all divisible by 3. We've got a 12 here too. Got the 27, you know, it's 3 3s. So I don't know. I was getting third party with it. Even with the gate, there's 3, you know, metal railings here, 3 on this side. So I feel like it's walking away from a karmic partner or karmic situation, as opposed to walking away from you. And it's really closed now. So even if they still like live in the same home, we were talking about the home before with the Hermit and the upside down Hermit and the Queen of Pentacles. Like even if they still like that, the emotional whatever, the relationship itself is pretty much cut. There actually could be a little bit of emotional, because sometimes you see she is also looking back though. Even though she's shutting the gate behind her, she's looking back, because that's what's back here is familiar, and so it can be enticing. Like, I know this. I'm going out into the unknown. You see all this white and things out there. She doesn't know. She has no idea what's out there, but she's going to take a chance anyway. You know, so she's looking back, but she's not going to go back inside. She is locking that gate. That's love and relationship. Physical health, all tied up. So this is about things that have us restricted, or we feel restricted by, we feel stuck because of. So it could have to do with waiting on something, like waiting on a contract to be signed, a divorce to be finalized, the new job, you know, to come through, that disability or workman's comp or whatever to show up in the mail or in our bank account. Something has us feeling like we can't move forward just yet, like completely. Like I was saying here, you might still live with the person. I don't know where that came from, but that's what I got. So it could be something like that. Like I still feel kind of stuck because I'm still here. I still can't completely move forward and do what I want to do, but I'm getting started. I'm doing it to the extent that I'm able. This can also literally have to do with a health issue. Like maybe you're waiting for medical clearance or something for that new job, or so you can travel, right? So you can get on a plane or go to a hotel. They gotta make sure that you test negative and all this kind of stuff. Maybe it's specifically somebody has COVID and they're waiting. They feel all tied up. Like, I feel better, but I'm on quarantine. I got to stay inside right now. Something like that is happening. I also just got maybe like somebody that's pregnant. You might be on bed rest, and look, it's right here, right underneath the rest and rejuvenation. Somebody that's pregnant may be put on bed rest this week, and they want to get up and they want to move around. They want to or have the baby come out, you know, or something, but they can't. They can't move forward just yet. Maybe it's not time. Maybe it's too early for the baby to come out. Can't move forward just yet. They got to instead rest and rejuvenation. Okay, and then they'll be able to get back to it soon enough. Spiritual health. So again, our overall energy was action, and all of this I think is speaking to, again, taking action or wanting to be able to take action, and heading on the right path to do that. So here we got cards number 12 and 16. I think that this is pretty straightforward. The temple path. It's a spiritual path that we're on. And yes, there are some things that are holding us up and holding us back, and we can't completely get to the goal that we wish right now, or at least we feel we can't. And until we feel we can't, right? You know, you have to have the mindset that I'm able to move forward now. So in the meantime, patience is going to be what's required on this spiritual path. From the twinflame oracle, same placements, not necessarily connected to the cards that are here, but you know, maybe they will be. That's kind of too many. Should I take them all and put them? They landed upright. Let's see if I can put them in order. card that most directly represents us. Yes, the answer to your question is yes. Healer of the ages, perception, red flags, delusion, perspective, see through your own false beliefs. So since this is, a depiction of what some people may envision to be like a Jesus type figure, it is about beliefs, obviously, and ideologies. So that may be what's happening in our surrounding energy for some of us. Like, we're realizing some of our belief systems, some of our practices, some of our ideologies, some of the things that we felt were traditional and should be one way or the other are changing. And that can apply also, again, to the relationships. Like, a lot of us are, we talked about this the other day, a lot of us are raised with this tradition, like you marry somebody, you're stuck with them, you're all tied up, you can't get out. And that's not true. So maybe somebody's realizing that they can release themselves from a situation that's not working for them, whether it's a relationship like that, even a marriage or a job or whatever it is. So moving through your own beliefs and moving beyond them so that you can move forward. And sure enough, the next card is beliefs. So it'll be here atop Daughter Romance. But yeah, I didn't know that until we just saw. Similar or clashing belief systems can bring you together or keep you apart. So this is definitely about romance, right? Bringing you together or keeping you apart. It's the Daughter Romance, as if you can get past your own, like these societal things you allow to dictate your life, false premises, negative emotions, false belief systems, bogus ideologies. If you can move past them in your own life, then that's going to be the Daughter Romance for you. Joining or walking away, we have lessons. You're walking away from that. That was a karmic lesson. Whether it's, again, a romantic situation, it is in the love placement, or it's some other situation that's affecting your love life. Whatever it is, you're walking away from that person or thing because it was a lesson. It was a karmic lesson. Knowledge, understanding. Look for the lesson in this situation. Atop, all tied up, we have journal. And I did feel like my first thing I think I said was, you're waiting for a contract to be signed. I mean, this is obviously not a contract, it's a journal, but we've got this person with this pen in their hand and paper. So I do feel like for a bunch of people, that's what it is. You're waiting for a contract or a check or something to be signed for you. Write, process, contemplate, understand your sacred journey. And so it's tying us into the sacred journey, which I just did too. With this card in particular, as well as these, of course, were in the spiritual placement. We need one more for spiritual health. Spiritual health. Spiritual health. Spiritual health. Chaser. Okay, instead of chasing, be patient. Understand that you are on a spiritual and sacred path, and that these things are going to be in divine timing. And believe me, divine timing gets on my nerves as much as anybody else. I have told my ex many, many times, and the words have power, so hopefully it works. That's how you manifest and stuff. But I've told him many, many times, I don't want to be that couple, in the human interest story in the newspaper or in some magazine that waited till they're like 80 and 90 to get together, and then they don't have much time left. Like, I'm not interested in doing that. I'd rather just not even do we gotta do it at some point when it's reasonable or whatever, but that's not divine timing. So I say all that to say it gets on my nerves as well, but we're guided here in the spiritual placement, whether it has to do with another person in a romantic situation or it's our own spiritual timeline. We're guided not to try to run through it and rush it and control it, but rather to be patient and allow for the temple, allow ourselves time, the divine time to go down that spiritual path. In pursuit, convincing, rejection, let them go and let it be. So maybe not necessarily them, but just like let go and let things be, like surrender. Let things be as they're going to be. Be patient. We'll take some. Now, these are pretty much like love-related messages, but I will take some from here, too. For these placements. Let's see what we get. So at the bottom, again, it was money worries are keeping me up at night. And I'm just not in a good place right now. Like, I can't even think about a relationship. And that's what we got here too, right? For finance, work and finance, we got daughter romance. So it's like, I want to be in a relationship, or I want to, you know, approach a relationship, or maybe not be single, or fix our relationship, build on our existing relationship, whatever it is. But money worries have me fucked up right now. So yeah, I hadn't realized the connection that of this card to daughter romance showing up in the placement of work and finance until just now. Thought something flipped over. Looks like they keep trying to come out. Did you see that one pop all the way up? Maybe I'll take that one. And that one. And that one. Two more. Oh, that one. And that one. I don't know if I'm going to get the order right this time, though. But now in the bottom of the deck, we have, oh, it's the same thing. It's the same kind of message. Family and work responsibilities are weighing me down, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. How can we make this work? So it's like, again, I really would like to give attention to romance, but I got this belief system that makes me feel very responsible for my family, and you know, and therefore my work. I have to keep my job, and I gotta keep making money because I gotta take care of my family. That's the way I was raised. That's what my belief system is. So in the meantime, how can we make this work? Maybe you can tell me, right? Maybe you can explain to me what we can do. All right. Again, like I said, I don't know. Should I even bother to try to get them in the right order? This is the first one I think that popped out. I won't bother to lay them out. I'll just read them to you. This time apart has given me an opportunity to pause and reflect on the mistakes I've made. Okay, maybe this was the number one card, and that it's landing here with this guy that's rest and rejuvenation. That's exactly what he's doing, right? He's pausing and reflecting. He's meditating. So I guess that is appropriate for that particular placement. I think this is the second one, but I'm not positive. If so, I mean, I'm going to lay it here just to keep things neat and orderly. But it would be joining Perception and Healer of the Ages. Please forgive me for letting you go. I was a fool, and now I want you back. Can we start over and have a fresh new beginning? So we did talk about the Healer of the Ages, healing relationships. So maybe that does belong there. I think this might be the third one. So it would be work and finance. I have never known anyone else like you before. My feelings for you have caught me by surprise, and because of that, she wants to do something about it, but they got to get their home and life in order first. All right, now I'm really lost. This was the last one to come out, so I'll put this on the spiritual health now. Joining Chaser, Patience, and Temple Path, we have, I know you're sad, but I will make things right between us. So again, be patient, and no need to chase me. I got you. I will make things right between us later. I think this one goes with Journal and All Tied Up. It's complicated, but I still have feelings for my ex. Isn't that what I said? She's looking back. Not for this girl. I said it for the girl over here. But I said she's looking back because they probably still have feelings, but they're moving forward. I still have feelings for my ex, but I'm not ready to release. It's complicated, but I still have feelings for my ex. I'm not ready to release this attachment. So, sort of tied up. But again, based on the other stuff that we saw, they want to leave. And then for that placement of love and relationship, everything will be all right. You'll see. We just need time and space apart to focus on our goals and our dreams. Boom. That may be all the time I have, because I want to read to you about Mercury and Virgo, but fuck it, might as well. Let's just do the last one. Whatever time it is, it is. Last deck, 6 cards. We got 2. The Star and the 8 of Swords. I'm just going to like acknowledge them. Star in reverse, 8 of Swords in reverse. But I think I'm going to not... I'm going to put those away. Because they didn't really come out. Alright. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Woo! Knight of Swords, upright. Wheel of Fortune, upright. Love and relationship. Eight of Swords in reverse. Physical health. 2. Oh goodness, that's definitely too many. 2 flat over here. I'm just going to acknowledge them. Magician in reverse, I think. And 9 of Wands upright. So 9 of Wands is about like not giving up, you know. You kind of want to, but you're not going to because you got a little left in you. Magician in reverse can be about somebody working roots on you, honestly, or being like, you know, sending you negative energy, which is, you know, maybe this came out to remind me because there's something else I've been meaning to talk about, particularly for any masculine that may be watching. When you experience different things that don't seem to work out with the feminine, like, you know, every time I talk to her or text her or see her, like something goes wrong or whatever it is, that's not the feminine's fault or your fault. That is negative forces, negative energies, and sometimes people, whether consciously or unconsciously, through whom the negative energy is coming. Sometimes people that we love and we care for, that we, you know, like, that are related to us, that are our friends or whatever, sometimes they are used by dark forces, you know, subconsciously, unconsciously. Sometimes consciously. Sometimes these people are really haters. They're not our friends. Or even if they're our family members, they don't like us. And they consciously and purposely do stuff to hurt us, including putting roots on you or whatever. And it's meant to make you feel like it is, you know, this person with whom, or people to whom you have, you know, a divine, with whom you share a divine path, or to whom you have, you know, some sort of divine tie, soul tie. It's made to make you think that so that you don't come together, whether it's for a career, a relationship, or whatever. They don't want, these dark forces, dark energies don't want you moving forward. Remember, this is about, this is not about you and your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife, you know, or the you know, the cute guy down the block or a woman, or whatever. This is about spiritual warfare. This is about that belief that peoples from all over the world, of different cultures, races, creeds, share, that one day we'll experience the final fight between good and evil. And again, many cultures celebrate and recognize good and evil. Things like Diwali, Hanukkah. There are all kinds of, I can't think right now, but there are all kinds of events where we recognize good versus evil. That's a thing that exists. And again, there's a belief, a commonly shared belief between people from all different walks of life and different practices. They may not believe it the same way, but they share this one belief that one day there will be one final fight between good and evil. And so we're at war, spiritual warfare. So that you're being made to think that this other person, and this, so not just the masculine, feminine for you too, but most of us are more awakened than the masculine, so that's why I guess I was addressing it to them. But we are being made to think by these other energies that it's this other person or thing that is meant for us, that is responsible for our, you know, unhappiness or bad luck or whatever, and it is not. It's not. That's for, you know, trying to cause you to give up on those things, on your goals, your dreams, your beliefs, and you should not. Like when the moon shows up and it tells you to continue to like fearlessly pursue, that's why you're meant to fearlessly pursue. Aww. So ended up with the Lovers in my hand. I guess this is truly the bottom of the deck because the bulk of the cards are here. But on the other side, we have the King of Cups in reverse. So I was just talking about pursuing what you want, and the King of Cups in reverse is known for doing just that. Even in the general sense, he's known for like going after, doing whatever it takes to get what he wants. So King of Cups, possibly an actual Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana out of 7 cards only. 4 of them are major arcana. And I was just randomly reminded of another transit that I don't think I mentioned to you. I also, the other day during the reading, said that I was feeling that the Knight of Swords, in addition to being a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, could possibly be a Virgo or a Taurus. And I said a Virgo because, again, Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo. But I said a Taurus because Uranus, the ruler of the sign of Aquarius, is currently located in Taurus. Well, what I wasn't thinking about at the time is also on top of that, on the 31st, so which falls into this reading, into this time frame for which this reading is, Uranus will be conjunct the true node. Again, Uranus is Aquarius' ruler, so that's where the air and the swords come from. The true node is Taurus right now. So, again, this Knight of Swords may not just only be, if it's an actual person in your life, they may not only be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or have that heavy in their chart. They can also be a Taurus or a Virgo. Speaking of Taurus and Virgo, we got the Page of Pentacles most directly representing us this week, joining that gentleman that was trying to restore his health, get himself rejuvenated. And sure enough, we have somebody who's feeling, sort of upside down, and who does need, and I'm sure, desire to have their health restored. And it's something, again, surrounding money. So it's another one of these messages that supports what we've seen already. He's trying to get his money situation up. All right, and he might be waiting. It might be delayed. He might be waiting for a contract, waiting for the new job to, to call, waiting for the medical clearance so he can start the new job. Again, something like that. Waiting to hear about a promotion or a transfer or something that's going to better his financial situation. Our financial situation. And then the surrounding energy, that healer of the ages, we have a very powerful energy coming in very quick that may specifically represent Mercury and Virgo this week. It might be what heals us. Again, we got this depiction of Jesus here. Everybody knows that, that watches my channel or has been watching for a while, knows that Jesus is a Virgo as far as I'm concerned. And I've broken down, when I was a real numbers geek on my channel, I've broken down the dates as to why I think that and the numbers and stuff. But anyway, Jesus is a Virgo. So this could be specifically about Mercury and Virgo. But even if it's not, the Knight of Swords is a very quickly, fast-moving energy. Comes in very, very fast. Is the fastest of all the knights in the tarot. And he's going to come in. He's going to be decisive. He's going to get a job done. He's going to take some sort of action. So that action, again, could be to heal and restore the situation. Knight of Swords. Possibly a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Then we have here a top daughter romance, and the financial problems, right, and all that kind of stuff, and the belief systems. We have the Wheel of Fortune upright. So the Wheel of Fortune is about a turn of events, a change of event, or things turning around, right, or coming full circle sometimes, or things for which we are destined. So again, I feel like there's going to be a turnaround in the financial situation, and because this is the placement of work in finance, and so in one's financial situation, things are going to turn around for the better. And there is something for which you are destined. You're destined for success. You're destined for greatness. And so we have the Wheel of Fortune showing up in this placement. Wheel of Fortune does represent the sign of Sagittarius and the planet Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. I also talked about Jupiter earlier. Again, Jupiter goes went retrograde the other day, the 28th. When is the 28th? The other day, right? Yes. I think today's the 29th or the 30th. Jupiter went retrograde already in Aries, and again will move into Pisces during the retrograde period, which I think is about 4 months long. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I think it's about 4 months long. In addition to that, the Wheel of Fortune and the planet Jupiter are also tied to the fixed signs, which are Taurus, again, the true node, Leo, where the sun is and where the moon just was, the new moon was just yesterday, or the day before. Scorpio, King of Cups, and Aquarius, King of Swords. Atop the woman that's walking away, and the card that says everything's going to be all right, the love placement, don't worry about it. We do have somebody that's feeling tied up and, you know, and sort of stuck in their current circumstances. Like I still do have some feelings about this person or for this person. And I talked about that the other day too. I said something's going to come to an end, or it could be about it could be about a divorce or whatever, or maybe your divorce is already final, you're already separated, but there's some sort of effect of that comes up, you know, this week or something. And sure enough, the next day after I posted that reading, in my own life, my own ex-husband called me and asked me, what's the date of our divorce? I need it. I don't know what he needed it for, but he needed it, so I gave it to him. Anyway, so this person that we've been talking about that may still have some feelings for the person or situation, again, because of the familiarity, like how do I leave my home and this person, I've been with them for whatever it is, you know, so that causes Eight of Swords. But again, the Eight of Swords here is in reverse. So it's still indicating, as I said, based on the other cards, that the person is going to come out of this and desires to come out of this. Desires not to be stuck and to move forward. And here they will ultimately be given the placement of physical health, will ultimately be given the strength and energy and support to do that. And even if it is, again, like a physical health problem, a medical problem that we're dealing with this week, strength means that everything is going to be fine. There's no placement, you know, no aspect of our life where strength is negative, whether it's upright or in reverse. It's always a wonderful card. It's always about being and feeling supported. So this is going to be an energy that comes in, that maybe with the help of the Knight of Swords, that comes in for your strength, your vitality, just to feel more strong and like ready to go. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. But this can also be about habits. Like it's a good time to get rid of some of your negative habits, your poor habits, your bad habits, and that may be what has you all tied up. Bad habits or something. So this could be the week that you're given the strength to, like, you know, kick the smoking, kick the drugs, kick the alcohol, kick the sex addiction, kick the, I don't know, whatever your habit is. I don't know. Fear of commitment or you know, and real relationships. You know, you'd rather stay in a relationship that's not existent rather than going to a new one. Some people deal with that. You know, so whatever your habit or poor choices have been about, this could be a week where you come out of them. And then lastly, we have the Empress in reverse. So the Empress in reverse, the Empress in reverse can mean a lot of things. I think in this, coupled with these other cards, this is the representative of the Divine Feminine. And again, she is the chaser. And she's on hold right now, so to speak. But it's demonstrating, I do recognize you as the Empress. I see you, but not yet. So she's in reverse. But based on the traditional tarot, this is interesting because it says that when the Empress shows up in reverse, in the position of spirituality, that women in particular in your life, so normally the tarot isn't gender specific. It's more, again, based on archetype. But this is, you know, it's talking about women, I guess, and or feminine energies. We can still go with that. These women or feminine energies have a lot to offer to you right now. You know, in terms of support, help, sustenance, and that we should pay particular attention to what the women in our life have to say about their thoughts on spirituality, you know, the spiritual path or paths, And it could be even a good time to like seek out female authors specifically, with regard to in whatever it is we're dealing with spiritually, wherever our interests lie spiritually. If you can find a book or something on it that's written by a female, from a female or feminine perspective, that could be really helpful to you right now. And then again, feminine energy in general will just benefit us right now, regardless of our own gender. So it could also be telling you to lean into your own feminine energy for the purposes of remaining on this path. And in terms of listening to the advice of a feminine energy in spirituality, I mean, I just gave you all a speech. So it could be that too, you know what I mean? But I think that's what I have for you with regard to the cards. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate it. And if you want to stick around for a minute, I'm going to go to my tablet this time, not my laptop, because my laptop is broken and I did have to send it back. I'm going to go to my tablet for Mercury in Virgo and what that's about. Did I look behind the lovers earlier? I did not look behind the lovers. Oh my God. You see why I was just guided to look behind the lovers? I will show you, because you probably don't see. But here's the lovers. Again, most directly represents the sign of Gemini. Sometimes Virgo as well, because some people say that it represents the planet Mercury, but it's most directly tied to Gemini, as is the number 6 in general. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So this is a desire, right? This is the kind we want: security, financial security, happiness in our home, happy family. We want all of that. But preceding that is another 10. Also upright, the 10 of Swords. So something, there's betrayal, loss, there's an ending here. Again, there could be addictions, bad habits that led to some sort of ending or ending of a cycle. Again, we're giving up these habits this week. It'd be ending of a cycle. And the reason we're doing that is in pursuit of this, in pursuit of security and happiness, again, and perhaps love. We're making a choice. Love, again, the lovers can be about choice, a decision that you're making, heart versus head, logic versus heart. And we could be choosing happiness, is what this looks like. But to take us back into this Pentacles, so we've got the Page of Pentacles here that's in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles is also in reverse. Pages bring news, Knights take action. So he could be this way in response to this. That's the action. And then this is what we want to achieve. This is what's next on the list in terms of goals. Happiness, security, maybe the whole kit and caboodle, marriage, kids, or merging of families, taking care of one another, supporting one another, genuine love, reciprocity, all of it. All right, and that's what I have for you. Again, so if you want to stick around, I'm going to go on my tablet now and read about Mercury in Virgo. Mercury in Virgo, focused, efficient, constructive. The transit is from August 3rd through August 25th. And this reading again goes from July 31st through August 6th. There's no better place for the planet Mercury to be than in the sign of Virgo. Not only is Virgo one of Mercury's 2 home signs, meaning its energy works very well here, but Mercury is also exalted in Virgo, meaning its energy works best here. Mercury guides the way we think. It rules our ideas, the way we process information, and how we communicate with others. Because Virgo is a sign of the mind that prizes precision and practicality. So when Mercury enters Virgo, it signals the start of an incredibly productive time for everyone. So again, we've been tied up, we've been in a rut, we're going to get out. We've been in a rut, we're going to get out. Mercury's move into Virgo begins a period when our minds are sharp, our speech becomes precise, and we're able to communicate with others more efficiently. We aren't interested in sugarcoating our words under this transit. We want to cut through the clutter and get straight to the point. Virgo is highly skilled at taking in tons of information and stripping out everything that's not necessary. So is Gemini, but yeah. So while Mercury moves through Virgo, our power to analyze information becomes much stronger, which helps us to communicate our thoughts in the clearest way possible. Somebody could really be coming and saying, like, I want love with you, I want, home with you, I want happiness with you, like making it very, very plain, and not sugarcoating anything, no bullshit. Productivity is one of our biggest benefits of Mercury in Virgo. While it's not the most fun transit, our opportunities to make real progress are huge. Instead of getting stuck in a trap of dead-end ideas or in conversations that seem to go in circles, we are intently focused on details and useful information, making this a time of great forward movement. One thing we must be aware of during this transit is becoming hypercritical. Discernment is a good thing, but during Mercury in Virgo, we can be so focused on finding faults that we insult others or become frustrated by our own flaws. That's one thing about Virgos. They're like perfectionists, whether they want to be or not. Like, they want everything to be perfect. Like, perfect. Not a hair out of place. You got to be perfect. And so they demand not only too much of other people a lot of the time, but too much of themselves. And like, they're never satisfied. They always got to keep working harder and for more. And I need more stuff. I need more stuff. I need more stuff. Anyway, maybe it'll be better with this transit. Refining the way we speak to others and conveying our opinions with tact is key with Mercury in this discriminating sign. And it goes on to talk about what it means for Mercury to be retrograde in Virgo. Again, if you want to, or if you were born with Mercury in Virgo, again, if you want to read more about that on your own, I got it from www.tarot.com. And I will bid you adieu. Namaste. Again, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate it. Supposedly, allegedly, it helps with engagement. I don't really believe it. I'm pretty sure I'm shadow banned, but YouTube keeps insisting, no, we don't shadow ban. I'm like, well, some stuff doesn't make sense. But anyway, they say it's going to help with engagement. So if you don't mind doing it, I appreciate it. Namaste, guys. Real quick, I'm back because I just realized I was about to pick up all these cards, and I realized I never told you the overall energy of these, and it's so related to everything else we've been talking about. So surrender, detach, trust, free fall, have faith that all will be well. Just like the masculine says over here, everything's going to be all right. This says also trust that all is going to be well. Then we have solitude. So it's about spending time alone. Retreat, introspection, silence. Go deep within yourself. Then unawaken. So it could be the other party, could be ourselves, that we have some growing to do too. Unaware, 3D, ego. Maybe we're in this place of ego. Darkness, your twin flame is not ready yet. And we saw the evidence of that too. And then crossroads, coming to that crossroad, deciding if you're going to go through the gate or not, right? All of that. Divergent paths. We have the temple path here. Choices. Got the choice card here. Confusion. Right, turned upside down here with the page and Knight of Pentacles. The guidance is to follow your intuition. Then we have community coming up again. Again, I think you need to be with people who are of your similar vibration, who are like-minded to you, who vibe with you, whether that is talking about a divine counterpart or that's talking about just a new group of people altogether, maybe on the spiritual path. Friendship, fun, a light heart, enjoy downtime with friends and family, or it could be that, being social, sort of like a 3 of cups kind of card, as we discussed. And then we have fertility, also upright. Fertility is attached to the Empress. Fresh ideas manifest. Also, there's growth. Plant your seeds. We have control, stagnation, delusion, release the need to control situations, which, we've come sort of full circle because we began with surrender. And we end on control because the next card is in reverse. It is observe, which we talked about quite a bit in my last reading, because we had not only a female or feminine energy who may be watching some of you for different reasons, whether it's to, try to, again, put roots on you, or keep up with what you're doing, or to gossip about you, or to plant things in the masculine's ear, negative about you. whatever her reason is, or just because she's jealous. It could be a friend, could be a relative, could be anybody. Talked about that on my Facebook page too. Then we also talked about the masculine watching and even perhaps seeing something they didn't like, whether it's another masculine, because we did have another male, the royal cards turn up. I think it was the Page of Wands. We did have that turn up. So it could have been that he saw another man or masculine energy giving you attention, or he just saw you like on a glow up, or saw something going on and it bothered him. All right. So, yeah, from surrender to control, or we begin with control and we end up in this place of surrender and just trusting that everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. Like the card says, and like the masculine's higher self says to us. All right. Now, again, namaste.